Good evening. I'll read each topic as a short listener-friendly script, each summarized in 3 to 4 clear sentences while preserving the key details. 1. Former Federal Reserve Chair Alan Greenspan has died at 100. Alan Greenspan died at age 100. His wife, Andrea Mitchell, said he passed away at home from complications of Parkinson's disease. Mitchell honored him as great and kind, and the Federal Reserve praised his contributions. He served as Fed chair from 1987 to 2006, 8.5 years across 5 terms under 4 presidents, the second longest tenure in the role, and is credited with steering a long expansion, lowering unemployment, and calming the markets with liquidity after Black Monday. His legacy is mixed. Praised for crisis response and greater Fed transparency, criticized for low-rate policies and faith in market self-regulation that some say contributed to the housing bubble and the 2008 crisis. He was famous for the 1996 irrational exuberance line, his opaque Fed speak, and later acknowledged some errors while remaining active in advising and publishing and receiving honors like the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Number 2. Two-year Treasury yields hit a multi-month high while oil prices swing amid Iran tensions and a Qatar LNG blast. Two-year Treasury yields climbed to about 4.215%, with 10-year yields near 4.499% and 30-year around 4.94%, as markets priced a firmer Fed after a hawkish meeting and ahead of the May PCE inflation report. Brent and WTI swung in roughly $77.82 and $74.78 ranges respectively, falling on news of Swiss talks between the U.S. and Iran, but jumping on renewed threats and rhetoric about blocking the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Treasury granted a 60-day temporary authorization for Iranian oil sales through August 21st, while U.S. and Iranian statements reported discussion of a 60-day roadmap and a pledge to reopen Hormuz. Yet Iran's threats and mixed military statements kept uncertainty. Shipping levels are recovering but remain below pre-war volumes. Adding to supply worries, a Ras Laffan Barzan facility explosion in Qatar during commissioning injured 54 and left 18 missing, threatening LNG and petrochemical flows already reduced by earlier war damage, and markets are watching PCE and geopolitics for further volatility. 3. An export ban affecting Anthropic has reignited debate over AI oversight. The U.S. administration moved to block exports and access to Anthropic's most advanced models, internal Mythos and public Fable 5, citing national security concerns, and some company staff were reportedly barred from using the models. Anthropic called the action excessive. Anthropic had limited Mythos access after reported jailbreaks and released a guarded Fable 5 on June 9th, while the Defense Department had earlier flagged Anthropic as a supply chain risk. Critics inside industry and academia say the reported vulnerabilities do not merit export bans and fault the decision's transparency and speed, with claims of roughly 90 minutes notice to the company. Government officials argue certain guardrails could be neutralized and pose risks if widely disseminated. The episode has revived calls for a clear, consistent AI regulatory framework that protects national security without needlessly hampering defenders or chilling innovation, even as political negotiations over Anthropic continue. 4. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced his resignation. Keir Starmer said on June 22 outside 10 Downing Street that he will step down as Labour leader and Prime Minister and remain as caretaker until a new leader is chosen. He acknowledged that the immediate trigger was Andy Burnham's by-election victory in Makerfield and ensuing internal pressure from MPs calling for a change, and the official leadership contest will open for nominations on July 9th, with an expected successor before Parliament's summer recess in early September. Starmer's resignation follows a poor run of local election results since the 2024 landslide, losing over 1,000 council seats. Falling polls, a string of ministerial resignations and contro